Okay, very good morning again. So we have started for the Purified. I think all you remember these are the some members already we have seen in the first lecture. Then as in the characteristics, mainly these genera, common genera, like the already we have seen. This is the macrocystis or the neurocystis or postelsia, palm-like, and the laminaria. Right. Then in the characteristics, as when we are observing, so these plants or the thalli, commonly plant bodies differentiated into hold fast, a short elongated stipe, and a expanded blade is there. Expanded blade in the sense of this thalli are as compared to the other members. Firstly we have seen chlorophyta, then chrysophyta, basilarophyta, other members, right? So they are the larger. The blade performs the photosynthesis and bears the reproductive structures. Many species remain in the floating by having the due to the air bladder the air bladder presence. So presence of air bladder, it is only they are storing the exchange of the gases, and yeah, they are helpful for the floating purpose. The photosynthetic pigments, which include chlorophyll A, chlorophyll C, beta carotene, xanthophylls like lutein, fucoxanthin, and flavoxanthin, and the phyloxanthin, right? Phyloxanthin. Then picoxanthin is however present sufficiently, which is partially masks the chlorophyll and carotenoid, and thereby giving the characteristic brown coloration. The growth of the plant body may be apical in the members like Ficales genera, then Dictyotales, which is intercalary, laminarials, and the trichothallic. Ectocarpus is the good example here. The cell wall is differentiated into outer and the inner layer, and the outer layer is the mucilaginous layer, which has fucinic and the alginic acid, but the inner layer, it is mainly the cellulosic. The alginic acid is used to manufacture artificial silk and the adhesive, which is obtained commercially from the sargassum and the laminaria. Then the cells usually have the many small vesicles and the white granules are there. This is the character for some genera, and the granules are called as the picosan vesicle. Then pyrenoids are usually absent, but if present, it is of single stalk type. Then motile structures, as the zoospores and gametes, have the two lateral inserted unequal flagella. This is the character of Phaeophyta, of which larger one is called as the tinsel or pantonema nematic, and the smaller is the whiplash or the acronematic type, right? So you remember here pantonematic and the acronematic. The larger is tinsel and the smaller is the whiplash type. Then that is the horse tail type, so it is called as a whiplash. Then the reserve food are commonly laminarin and the mannitol. So sucrose and glycerol, they are commonly present in the some members. The members of Phaeophyta are reproduced by all three means: vegetative, asexual, and sexual. In the sexual method, the reproduction takes place by fragmentation, and special reproductive branches, the propagules, develop in the some members like spacillarials. Those develop to a new plants after the detachment. The asexual reproduction takes place by the zoospore formation. Already we are knowing why asexual condition, because of the change in the water temperature, then salt concentration, pH of water. So normally the thallus is not working for the sexual reproduction, so it goes to the asexual. Then the asexual reproduction takes place by zoospores except in the telopteridales, dictyotales and the fucales. The zoospores produced in unilocular sporangia are the haploid, while the plurilocular sporangia they are the diploid. So here major difference is there. In sporangia generally the zoospores are developing. This is the very important characteristics for the Pheophyta. Then sexual reproduction, it ranges from the isogamy, that is the both gametes are same in shape, size, structure, right? Only function is different. One is male, one is the female. In example, members ectocarpels and spacillarials. Then oogamy, that is the all character, size, shape and structure, these are different. Commonly seen in the fucales, dictyotales and laminarials. Then through the anisogamy, cutularials and the telopteridales. So all they are the genera, Cutleria, Fucus, then Dictyota, right? So based on this, these orders are there. In most of the members, the fertilization is external and the zygote does not undergo meiotic division, and on germination it develops the diploid thallus. So this is also highlighting one character for the Pheophyta. The member shows the various types of alternation of generations, that is isomorphic in Ectocarpus, heteromorphic in Laminaria, or the diplontic life cycle in the Sargassum. Then in highlighting important character, the members of Pheophyta shows two types of life cycles, diplontic life cycle, Sargassum, and diplohaplontic life cycle. It is also having two types, in which isomorphic ectocarpus and heteromorphic type in laminaria. The classification of Pheophyta brown algae, then Fritsch classified these classes, followed by the Mishra in this one. So here you are observing as some members are there. So ectocarpels, genus ectocarpacea, carpus, then Telopteridales, Pelopteris, Cutularials, Cutularia, channels, Sporoconus, then Desma restials, Desma resti, Laminarials, genus Laminaria, Spacillarials, Spacillaria, Dictyotales, Dictyota, Fucales, Sargassum, and the Fucus. Then order Ectocarpels shows the important character as the plant body filamentous, branched, and heterotrichous. Few members are pseudoparenchymatous. Pseudo means false parenchyma like cells. The filaments form the cells which are arranged uniseriately. The plant body elongates by intercalary growth. Each cell contains chloroplasts with pyrenoids. This is the one differentiating character. The reproduction takes place both asexually and sexually. Asexual reproduction takes place by zoospores formed in the plurilocular sporangia, and the sexual reproduction takes place by both isogamy and the anisogamy. So these are the important characters for the ectocarpels. Then they perform the isomorphic or heteromorphic alternation of generation. Family Ectocarpaceae also shows the thalloid plant body filamentous, branched, and the heterotrichous. Here we are observing the detailed one of the character of order. Then sexual reproduction is isogamous and alternation of generation is isomorph. Then second order fucales. So here the plant body is sporophytic, parenchymatous. Good genus is the Sargassum and the genus Fucus. So they grow single from the apical, grows by single apical cell. Plant body bears sporangia, the microsporangia and the macrosporangia. The microsporangia behave as antheridia and they develop anthrozoids, whereas macrosporangia behave as oogonia and develop the single egg. And this is the major difference in the chlorophyta then other divisions. So it is very specific character, you have to remember it. Microsporangia behaves, which develop anthrozoids, and macrosporangia behave as oogonia, develop the single egg within each. The sexual reproduction is oogamous type because both are the different in shape, size, and structure. Then sporangia are born with within special cavities, and these are called as the conceptacles. Already we are knowing in sargassum, so conceptacle present, and in which they are present in the receptacles. So then absence of alternation of generation in the family Sargaceae. There is no specific alternation of generation. Then important characteristics of this one. So here plant body thalloid, much branched and radially or bilaterally symmetrical. Branching is monopodial. Monopodial, that is on the main stem, other branches are there. Growth takes place by three-sided apical cell, right? And some branches are modified into leaves which bear axillary air bladders. So axillary position means what? In between the front leaf and main axis. So it is the axillary position, and sex organs develop in the conceptacle. So this is also one highlighting character. Then our order laminarials is there. So laminarials having the important characteristics, as you are knowing, it shows these character, as members are commonly called kelp because of very large size and the complexity in the structure. These members reach up to the 50 to 60 meters, right? Exclusively they are marine forms, and the grows in the sublittoral and the littoral zones, that is on the rocky coastal area of temperate and the polar region. The plant body mostly parenchymatous and growth shows. So in our Maharashtra, some not Maharashtra, in the Indian seashores, some members are reported. The dominant plant body is very large and sporophytic, which is diploid and in nature, and it differentiated into root-like holdfast or the heptaron, and stalk-like style and the leaf blades. But the gametophytic plant body is very small and the microscopic. Here the reproduction takes place by both asexual and the sexual means. Asexual reproduction generally takes place by the zoospores and develop in the unilocular sporangia. Okay, then in the family Laminariaceae, the same main characters, the sporophytic plant body differentiated into holdfast, stipe, and the blade, and the degree of morphological and anatomical differentiation. The sporangia are developed in the distinct groups on the both surface of the blade. Gametophytic plant is reducer, which is dioecious, and the plants of this group possess the heteromorphic diplohaplontic alternation of generation. Diplo means diploid, haplontic means the haploid. So they alter to the each other. So here you are observing again some photographs we have selected. So characteristics, generally the brown algae consumes, or they show the different content. So mode of nutrition is there, locomotion is there, then it contains the chlorophylls like A and C. In the laminaria, fucoxanthin gives the characteristic brown color or the olive color is there. Then reproduction in brown algae, you see about the sargassum, all about this air bladders, and this one already we are knowing October, and this is the seashore area where these members are commonly found. Sargassum, for example, some sea in the world are there. It is called as the Sargasso Sea. So it is also one good photograph. Their maximum sargassum is observed. Reproduction in brown algae heteromorphic. It shows the conspicuous sporophyte, and some gametophytes are the this one. This is the life cycle of laminaria. So you remember this life cycle, which shows the laminaria, shows the sporangia, then they develop meiosis, then there is a fertilization, again zygote formation, and directly zygote germinate developing to the sporophyte. So life cycle understanding, it is the important part. Then in the life cycle, you see here that typically involves the alternation of generation, as it is the diagrammatic life cycle. So here you observe that conceptacle or the thallus is there, and this thallus, as it gives to the conceptacle, male and female conceptacle. The male gives antheridia, female gives egg or the in the oogonia, right? So these are, they got to the fertilization, the sperms and the eggs are there, and later on again it gives the zygote formation to develop a diploid plant body is there. So these are the maximum structures of these Phaeophyta members are there. This is a good photograph of the kelp, right? So it is the postelsia. It is called as a water pump, right? And some members, as you are observing here, this is the called as Sargassosi. Then in economic importance, Japan like countries, they have in the certain industries there on this one. So used in the food, secondary products, sources of alginates, right? And commonly emulsifier, they are obtained from this one, from for the paint and the ice creams from the kelp beds. So you see, like our sugar factory, there are the industries in the ocean by the larger these countries are there. Okay, and this is the phylogeny, which is showing how the Phaeophyceae members are developed. So here you are observing Phaeophyceae ectocarpials. From this one, these other genera orders are seen, in which isogamy, oogamy is observed. So at the top, laminarials and fucales, they are having the specific character. I have selected some of these photographs which are showing the magnified structures of this one. So this is the fucus, right? Then as this is the Hydrocalanthus, one genera. Then Turbina ria, it is the another genera is there. And for the key species of Sargassum, so these are the herbarium photographs available on the in the online references. So Dictyopteris, then Turbinaria is there, right? Then Dictyota acutilova is the genus in Phaeophyceae. These red pink colored scales are there, so it detects the length and the breadth of the this one. So like this one, you have to go to the all these members are there. So remaining part we will see in the next lesson.